Hi, welcome to the first ever podcast of Sage and Sanity, where we do a whole lot of cleansing and come back to a semblance of sanity in our lives. So, welcome very much to my first one ever. I just wanted to start with kind of giving you guys a background of why I wanted to do this podcast. So, I'll give you a little bit of background information about me. I grew up as one of 8 children in a very fundamentalist Christian family. And when I was younger, I was in public school, but our parents decided to pull us out of public school to homeschool us. And I was excited about it because I was horribly bullied at school. But it ended up being a very traumatic experience for me. And that's why I titled this, Oops, I'm Still in the Sixth Grade. A lot of you probably are wondering, like, how is this old lady still in the sixth grade? I'm not. I actually have an associate's degree in college, but it really ties into a big part of my story. And part of being in a fundamentalist Christian home, part of what was instilled in us both at church and at home is don't trust, don't talk, don't feel. And I carried a lot of secrets, and it caused a lot of problems in my life. And I realized that I have a voice, and I deserve to be able to tell my story. So I'll just kind of go back to the beginning, and we'll go from there. So I was in public school till fourth grade, and that's when our parents decided to pull us out of public school and homeschool us. Partially because they wanted to keep us separate from the world, and there was a really huge push in the fundamentalist movement to homeschool your children. But also, my mother was very much against vaccinations, and to go to public school, we had to be vaccinated, and she didn't want to vaccinate anymore. So those were kind of two reasons why we were pulled out of public school to be homeschooled. And I was really excited again. Horribly bullied at school, get to stay home, do school in my jammies. I was really excited about it. And I got to skip fifth grade and go right to sixth grade. But long story short, I was in the sixth grade for 6 years. I was in sixth grade from the age of 12 to the age of 18. I didn't even go through 1 year of education when my parents homeschooled me. And then when I was 18, I went and served at a Christian camp for the summer. And I got tired of telling lies to everyone and feeling stupid and watching all my friends go off to college when I couldn't have even dreamed of it. So I decided that I was going to just take charge of my own education. And I ended up starting to do my own schoolwork on my own, and I finished 6th, 7th, and a quarter of 8th grade. And then I took 2 GED classes and passed my GED the first time that I took it and went right to college. So I never even finished 8th grade and went right to college. And like I said, I have an associate's degree in college, so it had nothing to do with intelligence. But for some reason, our parents just didn't educate us. I feel like part of it was our religion, because the Bible and like religious education far outweighed the education from the world, whatever that means. And the other thing is, my parents, while they did do the best that they could with what they had their own traumas and issues. And my dad worked full time, and my mom struggled very heavily with depression. And you have to be very administratively inclined to be able to properly homeschool your children and keep up with it and everything. And I just don't think that that was the right fit for my parents. And also, there was 8 children. That's a lot. That's asking a lot. So I never told anybody about this. I was so terrified. I thought that if people knew, they wouldn't like me, or they'd think I was stupid. And I was constantly hustling for worthiness and trying to prove my strength, prove that I was smart, just prove myself in general. And it took me a really long time to be comfortable with my own story. And so I decided that I'm going to start telling my story. And in doing that, I'm not trying to shame or embarrass my parents, but it is my story to tell. And if I can bless other people, or if I can be used for healing of other people, I would really like to be able to do that. So this is just a really important topic to me, because I've been heavily in the deconstruction process and trying to figure out what I believe spiritually for myself. And my fundamentalist Christian upbringing ties really closely to a lot of my trauma. And I feel like it does for a lot of other people. A lot of people of my generation were really traumatized by growing up in the Christian Fundamentalist movement, from homeschooling, from just all the secrets and shame. And I just want to be free of that. So I'm very happy that I'm no longer in that place, but it was very hard during the time that we were going through it. I mean, we were told to tell people the grade we were supposed to be in instead of the grade that we were in. We couldn't really leave the home until after 3 p.m. because our parents didn't really want questions asked. We even had CPS called on us from different relatives who were really concerned about our education. But nothing really changed until each individual of us decided that we were going to get our GED or take track of our education. And a lot of us have college degrees now and are going on to do successful things, but it was just really, really hard and traumatizing when we were going through it. And I know countless people that had this kind of similar story. And I just recently, for the second time, watched Shiny Happy People. And I think that also really encouraged me to want to speak up, because I could just really feel for a lot of the Duggar children and also a lot of the other people that shared growing up in fundamentalist Christianity. So I am so thankful that you're here and that you listen to my podcast. I'm so excited to be starting this. I'm sure it's going to be a little messy at first, but I appreciate you hanging in with me. And I'm excited to share more of my story and have more of a voice. And I will catch you guys more soon. I'll try to do like weekly or bi-weekly podcasts, just kind of talking about different topics that matter to me, telling a little bit of my story, and we'll see what goes from here. Thank you so much. Love and light.